Okay, we are live. Hey, YouTube family and LinkedIn family, I'm going live. I'm trying this new concept of going live for 5 minutes to give you communication tips very quickly. If I have not yet met you, my name is Lanita Hostin. I turn high visibility professionals and organizational leaders into skilled communicators. They build trust, morale, and connection in any room. And if you're in business, we know what trust leads to. It leads to sales. If you're in organizational development, we know what trust leads to camaraderie. So, I want to share with you my key takeaways from the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Business Conference that I went to this past week. I am an alum of the program. Check out the swag that they gave us. Bow, bow, bow. You see me. Okay. They also gave us a hat and they gave us some other stuff. But the point that I wanted to share with you all is just some things that I took away. Um, the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Business Program is for, let me start my 4 minute countdown because I'm trying to prove to you brevity has power. The Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Business Program is a free business development program for businesses in any sector. The only requirements to participate are that you have the last 2 years of your tax returns completed and that you are generating at least $75,000 annually at the moment of your application. Um, I am an alumni ambassador. I do not get anything from you doing this. There's no affiliate fee. I don't get money, but I'm sharing my experience from this conference because it really changed the trajectory of my business. And there are two takeaways that I want to share that I got from day one. We heard from the Home Depot co-founder. His name is Ken. And then we also heard from, her name is Kat. She is the CEO of AGI Wellness Company. One of the things that Ken shared, one of the takeaways that I learned from him was he talked about how his co-founder for Home Depot was fired. And his co-founder came to him with his feelings of being, let go, overlooked, that sort of thing. And instead of Ken, the other co-founder of Home Depot, sitting in the sorrow, he saw it as an opportunity because the co-founder who lost his job had so much gained knowledge. So Ken said, okay, we're going to create our own or infrastructure and own shop. So they worked together and they built out Home Depot. My takeaway from that was always look for what you have. There's something inside of you that you've been developing and nurturing over time, whether that's through employment, through service. Don't discount that and look for ways to use those skills or to charge for them. So that was the first thing. The second thing, and this is something that I practice, her name was Kat Cole, I believe. She started in the Cinnabon. She started at like a Cinnabon franchisee, and then she worked her way up to lead the corporations. And one of the things she talked about was that energy is something that you have to guard. She talked about how if you have a high demand week or high activity, meaning you have a lot of outputs that demand everything of you, your attention, your ingenuity, your creative genius, your problem solving. Those are the times to get super serious about your wellness, what you're eating, because food should convert into energy, and your sleep patterns, and avoiding alcohol and sugary foods. It was so good because as a communications coach, one of the things I really pride myself in conveying to my clients is the need for their well-being to be optimal in order to be effective in communicating. I say this often, our mind, the way that it's wired, we're not built to do multiple things well at a time. We're built to do one thing well. So if your body is fighting for rest because you're sleep deprived, if your mind is fighting for focus because you're overstimulated, it's going to be hard to communicate effectively. because now you're doing two things. You're fighting for that, whatever is deprived, and then you're also trying, aiming, or attempting to push something out. The body can only do one thing well. We can do multiple things. We can only do one thing well. How we safeguard that is our wellness regimen. So it looks differently for everyone. But that was it was affirming because that's something that I not only practice, but I teach my clients. Those are my two takeaways in general. The last thing I'll say are when you're in the program, you get placed inside of a cohort. So I have 20 new friends essentially, or family members, and they are different stages of business: over a million, half a million, a quarter million, less than quarter million. They're all different. And all of our problems are similar: cash flow, personnel, whether we need more or we have some that are performing below average, access to capital. And it looks differently at each stage, but the problem is the same. And so be encouraged no matter what stage of business you're in. And that is my 5-minute communications tip for the week. If you're interested in the Goldman Sachs program, just drop. I'm interested as a small business owner. I'm interested. I'll drop the link so that you can consider applying. And I encourage you, if you are developing or growing a business, get in community. Get in community so that you're not isolated and feeling like you're alone with the challenges that you're working through. I have very similar challenges while the scale is a lot different than my colleagues because technically I'm a solopreneur while they're running multi-person enterprises. And it's so interesting to see the similarities still. Another one I didn't mention was tax season, having tax liabilities that were not accounted for. So, and that's a commonality amongst most of the people in the group. Anyway, get in community, get to a place where some type of community that'll help grow and foster the business idea that you have. That's all I got for today. I love you. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it. I'll see you next week. If you have a topic that you'd like me to cover in 5 minutes, drop it in the comments. I love to do so. Bye now.